Alrighty, now we're going to start our Bitcoin mining back up now that I've got my solar running and I got my new power supply. And this is a nice power supply. It was able to feed all 8 GPUs, everything, all the ATX feeds, everything. But let's see if she'll recognize all 8 devices. Ooh. And of course it does not. I see my 6 360s, but I don't see this 3090. Well, you know what? Maybe because it's MSI. I'm not sure, but it doesn't see this one either. It sees these 6. It's always something like this, right? Alright, well, we'll play with it and we'll get back to you. So, if you're interested in solar and in Bitcoin mining, yay! And we're back! So really what I did was I just Googled the name GeForce RTX MSI 3090 driver, updated the driver, and then I did a restart and it now sees them all. Alright, let's try and get mining. I'll be back again. You've said this to me before, and you said you had to restart. Okay. I'm waiting. Bitcoin miner! 8 GPUs. They're nowhere near up to full power. They've just been benchmarking. But between the Eevee and this, pretty much sliding easily with the input and output, the design of those 2 PAL Mr. 6,500 watt. Boy, it can really show how you need batteries, right? I mean, because even in a bright solar day, I've got almost a 7,000 watt array. But once that sun goes down, it's all on your batteries. And man, you need a lot of batteries if you're going to be doing this and EV charging. But we're going to come up with a solution. So I separated the panels because of wind, because it's extremely windy today. And I wanted to come out and take a look. So I know it doesn't look the greatest, but this was all made with stuff I had laying around. And then I had this additional panel here, and I wanted to kind of tilt it on an angle to capture the big sun, because I'm facing south. This is south, but as the sun sets to the west, I figured I would try to put and have room for more panels. This is just sitting here, I know. So it's working fantastic. It came out here in the wind. We trenched over to here and came out really good. My son Ken really dug that really deep. Got a nice offset. I used a heat gun on that and just did that by hand. Put a little duct seal on the top. So here's the PV array from that guy. They're all in series. It's number 10 wire. And then it's series through this. And then that's one array. So one array. This is P1 for P1. And then we come down here. Come back up into this tracker. This is for P2. So this array and the rooftop I have, small roof fan from solar. So this one's completely on solar. I know he's pretty empty. Yeah, he'll be charging for a while. Now I can't put this guy on and this guy on at the same time. It won't handle it. So what I've done is I've actually put this one and this one on the normal grid. This is low battery. At alarm 30 is low battery. And now that I'm charging up, so this is the charger I plugged in right there. It just leads out underneath the garage. So this wall right here is everything dedicated to solar. Here's my main coming in with a DC fast charge disconnect. Here's a PV array disconnect. This is a 3-phase disconnect, 3 different circuit break, 3 fuses in here, and that's protecting 2 arrays. 2 in the one on the roof and Manny. So this is all fused, and then I have Mo, because Mo just comes in on one circuit, one series circuit. So 198 volts coming in, 200, 400 here. Let's check amps. Eight amps. It's 1.8 kilowatt. That's a lot for. That's pretty good, man. It's 3.3 kilowatt. Damn, I got almost 5 kilowatt coming in on this cloudy day. It's pretty good. So we've got, this is the shop, and I've got the 2 EVs. I got Ken's EV, Chris's EV, and then I have the P1 and P2. P1 and P2 individual grid feeds. Now these do not feed back into the grid, all right? But these will charge the batteries up or grid assist, but it doesn't feed back into the grid. And got these guys are pretty good. I put all ring terminals on it. Now I had I put on a double barrel lug here on the bottom, thinking in the future, and got a nice and shrunk wrapped here, thinking if I ever had to add, so I've got a lug here and a lug here, and there's one more stud inside. So if we take this off, let's see what it looks like. And that's what it looks like. So I've got 4 3/8 inch studs with a double barrel lug on the bottom. This just clamps right over the lug. I like that. These are like plastic little nuts here to keep it from being. And then I just put tape over, a heat shrunk and tape, just to keep it so it's not something drops on top, because that, and it's working really good. I really, but now I started off with, you know, this is an amalgam of time and trial and error on solar. So like I was saying, I'm changing my tune on solar. I'm really liking solar. In fact, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, is it gonna rain? What kind of day is the day? Listen to that wind. Is it gonna be a nice day? Boy, because when it's a nice day, man, I can get a lot going. There's a tie wrap I missed. This back here is a lighting circuit. Let's talk about the lighting real quick. So I've got a circuit for lighting, 110, actually comes out of here. Here's my lights. Turn them off if I want to. That's on the solar. So basically that goes to this junction box, which goes to this relay. So this is a high voltage to low voltage relay. It's a low voltage connection here. You can see. There's a low voltage connection to a ceiling sensor. Here's the LED driver, because I have LED lights. And that comes around to this sensor right here. Of course, I turned it off and turned it back on. That's why it's blinking. And I love that. So these are just simple LED lights hung off some strut. You can see they went on and off because when you turn them on and off, they do that. They reset. See that? And that light. So I love these. I come into the shop. If I either come in this door, or wherever I come in, this guy senses me and turns those lights on, and then they turn them off. Right? That's the story behind my solar journey. All right, now let's measure that wire I'm going to need. Let's paste this thing off and see how much wire I'm going to need to get here. Okay, this is just, again, it's not dressed. This is just laying here for measurement. It's all dressed under the deck and into the house. We're going to have to measure it around. Okay, so if you saw the other video, I got the wire over here. Now this wire is going to go just to this emergency transfer switch. This is how my solar is going to interact with the stuff I have in the main house. So, wow, look at this. This is Henderson Electric. I used to be Henderson Electric up until 2003, I believe, because our last name is Henderson. And then we changed to Henelec because there was a big company in New York City that went bankrupt, and they were called Henderson Electric, and I kept getting all their crap. So I said, you know what, let me, yeah, this is open because I'm working on it. Let me change the name. Well, in fact, I incorporated. Wow, that's cool. My septic alarm is off. This thing has been on for a while and it's off now. That's good. So this is a septic alarm tank. Here's the wire. It's just sitting here. Again, this is just going to go to this plug here. If I can. I don't know if this big. This is only rated. This is only for 50 amps. 50 amps, and I got 1/0 aluminum, which is rated for 100 amps. So because of that huge voltage drop, I mean, this is about. Whew, this is about 350, 400 feet of wire here. So that's a huge voltage drop at low voltage. You know, if we're at 480 volt would be different. Here's a central vacuum. Wow, look how clogged it is right there. That's a central vacuum. I put that in 25 years ago. Look at all the network wire we're not using anymore. Look at all that. I ran 2 coaxes to every bedroom, every TV area. I got Cat 5 running to every bedroom, every TV area, and not using any of it anymore. Look how it's all pulled out. This is not being used at all. Maybe a little bit. In fact, this is the alarm panel right here. Here's an astronomical time clock from Lutron. Because I have a Radio Raw system in the house. Here's my basement panel. I had this panel laying around. I wish I went with a little bigger one because you can see how filled up it is. Because this is when we did the basement. Did the basement, and you can see here's the feed, the pipe that goes into it. But anyway, just wanted to give you a little behind the scenes of, look at this, is inspected in 2001. May 10th, 2001, baby. But yeah, the challenge is now getting this huge wire inside of this. So if I have to create a dongle and splice that, I will. I'll dress this up better. That will end up coming across somehow. And maybe up here I could put a box and then a rubber cord into this to make it look so it's not this big, huge aluminum cable. And that's about it, guys. So show you a little behind the scenes of what's going on in the electrician family. And all this work has been done a long time ago. Okay. We will see you from beautiful New Jersey on my way to Miami. Doing a little business in Miami. Check on some things there. And then we'll be back. Going to bring the motorcycle back. All right, guys. Thank you so much for visiting. It's time to say goodbye. And we'll talk to you soon.